What's up, everybody? My name is Scott Waters and welcome to NoLifeTilMetal. It is time for a NoLifeTilMetal Records Creative Services update. As you guys know from past videos, I work with Roxx Records, Retroactive Records, Born Twice Records, Bombworks Records, and of course my own label, NoLifeTilMetal Records. So I thought I'd show some of the stuff that's come out in the last few months on vinyl and CD. Quite a few things from both Roxx and Retroactive, as well as one from NoLifeTilMetal. So first of all, what's playing in the background, this is a test pressing of Deliverance's new album, which is coming out, I believe, in February on vinyl and CD. And this is, of course, the subversive kind. Brand new album, kind of stays in the thrash metal style, speed metal that they did on their first few albums. And so if you're into those albums, you'll probably dig this one too. Yeah, it's a really good record, very enjoyable. Can't wait to get the actual vinyl for it with the real cover. This is actually the insert, one side of the insert. So. Okay, so getting right into this thing, I'm going to show a couple 45s first. This is, I might have shown some before, I can't remember, but this is the 7-inch vinyl. It's going to be on black vinyl for Mortal. This is the SFN Sinister on the A side, and then Fleshed Alive is the Word remix on the B side. And this comes free with the 12-inch Lucis album that's on purple vinyl from, that's on Retroactive Records. And that's all available for pre-sale right now, as well as their second album. Both Mortal albums are on sale. The second album is it's called Fathom. It's 2 albums. Both are black vinyl. So, and they both have inserts and all that kind of stuff. Test pressing sounds great. The test pressing of the whole album sounds fantastic. I'm looking forward to hearing the full thing when it comes in the mail. So from what I know, it's already shipped and arrived at the Retroactive Records offices, so it should be shipping soon. This one I'm super excited about. This is the Armed for Battle EP, a thrash EP featuring members of Deliverance, Ultimatum, and Join the Dead. The A-side is a new track, or an exclusive track by the band Join the Dead, which of course features Michael Phillips on guitar. Michael Phillips was the guitar player for Deliverance for many years, and then he formed Join the Dead. And also is Tim Krumyak on bass. Tim also played in Deliverance for a long time. This is just pure thrash metal, great stuff. The B-side is 2 Deliverance tracks recorded at different times. First is What a Joke, which was recorded by Michael Phillips on guitar and Jim Chafin of The Crucified, and now with Deliverance. Yeah, matter of fact, this is Jim right here. We recorded me on vocals, we recorded What a Joke, and It's the Beat. And like I said, this was recorded back in the day. This version of What a Joke has not been released on, I don't think it's been released on anything else. It was released in 2012. If you bought the Ultimatum box set, anybody who pre-ordered that got that track for free for pre-ordering the box set, the Heart of Metal box set. It's a really good version. I mean, it's spectacular. Jim's drumming is awesome, but I mean, Michael Phillips' guitar playing is just out of this world. So many great solos in there. We definitely changed the song up a little bit, made it a little heavier. My vocals are more heavier and like a Machine Head style, but it's a great song. It's the Beat actually comes off of Michael Phillips' solo album Mirrors Within Mirrors from back in what, 2009, I think. I don't remember when exactly it was from, but that song's actually on the B-side as well. 2 songs featuring the same guys, both Michael Phillips, Jim Chafin, and myself. So that's coming out on Roxx Records. Probably, we're thinking in the very beginning of February. This is a test pressing. The test pressing is approved, and we're just waiting for them to ship. So we're looking at somewhere around January. They'll ship to Roxx offices in California, and then we will get them out and starting shipping, you know, somewhere in that same time. I'll definitely put up links on my Facebook page and let you guys know when they're available for pre-order. Okay, next up, the second release on NoLifeTilMetal Records. This was a dual release with Roxx. So you got Roxx and NoLifeTilMetal Records on the back. This is the one that we did the campaign for. Deliverance's first album, a re-release of the 1989 classic speed metal gem. It just came out fantastic. I'm so happy with how the artwork came out. The cover looks good. It's more what the band wanted to begin with in the beginning. It's just that splotch of blood. The chains actually breaking. They told me different things, and I've heard different members say different things. Like they wanted more chains. But regardless, this is very similar to the first album cover, but it's more of what they wanted than the first one. It's not so cartoony looking. Completely new back. band picks. This came available in red vinyl. I think the red vinyl might be sold out. If there isn't, there's maybe 1 or 2 left on the Roxx Productions website. Let's see here, is this the red vinyl one? Yeah, this is actually the red vinyl one here. So there's your custom centering. And it is a red vinyl with black marbling, and it fits perfect with the theme of the whole album. So really happy with how that came out. As well, this one comes with an insert, full color insert, lyrics, and all of them also came with this 8.5 by 11 sheet, which is just the band talking about the record and, you know, thoughts about when they recorded it and that kind of thing. It's just a little extra insert that I wanted to include, so we did. Anyhow, fantastic speed metal release. If you like the first Deliverance album, this one sounds fantastic, looks fantastic. Like I said, available on CD, which I think I have the CD sitting here too. Available on CD or vinyl, black or red. The CD itself actually came out really nice. It actually has some similarities, but it's an 8-page booklet and it has photos and a lot of the same liner notes and of course the lyrics and whatnot. And that's available at roxxproductions.com too. The good news is that in January we'll be launching finally the NoLifeTilMetal Records website, where you can order NoLifeTilMetal Records stuff, as well as other things as well. But right now it's only available on the Roxx site. Roxx is kind enough to, you know, put this stuff on there until we do have the NoLifeTilMetal site open, which, like I said, should be January. Alright, I'm going to cruise through these a little quicker now. Here's the black version of the Deliverance record. Like I said, really happy with how that came out. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this one if you watch any VC videos. Everybody's been showing this one. This is Fear Not. Original was released on purple vinyl, 100 copies on purple and 200 on black. Pretty sure this is my purple copy. Yeah, this is the purple copy. So you can kind of see the there's little specks of blue and red mixed in, kind of marbled, but it's a really deep purple color. Again, like the other albums that I've showed so far, they come with inserts. This one comes with an old HM article on the band, and it's just a collage of stuff from the album. And then the B-side, or the backside, is the lyrics. As you probably know, Ronald Wall from the vinyl community actually hand-painted this cross on the back here, hand-painted this logo. Him and I kind of went back and forth in the design, but he actually hand-painted the logo, and he hand-painted this little detail right here. And so the two of us worked on this together, so really happy with how this one came out. It sounds fantastic, it looks fantastic. The original album cover had flowers all here where this black is, and it had a kind of a bubbly logo. To me, it just didn't work as well as this one does. This is more metal. These guys are a metal band. They're like, to me, they kind of sound like a mixture of Skid Row, the heavier albums, like the second album, and a lot of people say they sound like Slaughter, and I don't really hear that, because when I think Slaughter, I think a little more melodic. These guys have a little more grit and grind to them than Slaughter does, but still, it's a great album. If you like that, you know, late 80s style, kind of sleazy hard rock metal stuff, you'll dig Fear Not. Great release on Roxx Records. Purple vinyl is nearly sold out, if it's not already sold out, but it is, if there's any left, it's available on roxxproductions.com. This one I'm really happy with. This is the Sacrament's first album. This is Testimony of the Apocalypse. I went ahead and I did the design on the cover and the back cover. As well, there was a poster for this. If you pre-ordered, you got a free poster. Super happy with how this came out. The original was a little more dull looking. It didn't have the same luster as this one does. I definitely pumped the color quite a bit, especially like in the sun and in the fire back here and in the blue in the background. Not that the original was bad, I just wanted it to be fresh and new and look good, you know? Just look, be able to tell it's just upgraded. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but and of course I also worked on the Sacrament logo and cleaned it up and made it neat and perfect. And made a completely new back cover, because the original back cover on the vinyl, which was released in the UK only, was just, I think it was just red, and it had just words in the back, the lyrics about this big, and that was it, nothing else. So I, of course, added some graphics to there. This one comes in blue vinyl and black vinyl. This is the black vinyl version. You can see there's the Retroactive logo on one side, and there is the Custom Sacrament logo on the other side. It is black and white printing on the center rings. From what I'm understanding from both labels, in the future we will be doing nothing but color labels because they both just like the way they look. So that's kind of exciting. And of course there was the insert. This is one side of the insert, and then the lyrics in the back side. So great thrash metal from Pennsylvania. I think this one came out in like 1990 was originally. I love this record. I've loved it since 1990. I bought it as a brand new release. Still have my original CD pressing of it. Very glad that it was finally released for the first time in the United States on vinyl. And also, excuse me for scratching my nose, Sacrament's Haunts of Violence. This is their second album. This one was released a couple years later. They had recorded this album pretty quickly after the first album. New singer. First album kind of had that kind of raw, guttural vocal style, and the music was pure thrash metal. Then the singer left, and they got a new singer, Rob Wolf, who's pictured right, where is he? Right there. Different style vocalist, a little more hyper, high-end. I want to say, like if Bobby Blitz sang, but he barked more. That's kind of what you're going to get here. More complex than the first album, a little more technical than the first album. I remember being billed as one of the heaviest albums to come out at the time, but then it did come out for another year or two afterwards, so that by that time it was, you know, 92, 93, and, you know, death metal was everywhere, so it wasn't quite as heavy as they were originally billing it out to be. But regardless, I'll take this over most death metal any day. I love thrash metal. Again, I redesigned the cover a bit. I recreated the logo, added a new font for the front cover. Totally created the back cover, and this one also came with a poster if you pre-ordered it, as well as a color insert, a picture of the band, and lyrics on the other side. And this one came in red vinyl, and it's opaque red. No, is it opaque? No, it's not. Yeah, it's opaque. It is opaque. Mixing up opaque and translucent. So this is an opaque red vinyl, and it's just pure red. There's no, as you can see, there's no flecks about the color. There's no marbling. It's just pure opaque red, which is perfect for that album, Haunts of Violence. Again, just a thrash metal gem. I love the album. So glad it's available on vinyl. Like I said, for the first time ever, it's never been pressed on vinyl anywhere before, as far as I know, and not even bootleg on vinyl. So this is an official release on Retroactive Records, and that one is available now. You can get either color from their website, which is boomsoverstock.com. This one as well. I did the artwork for this one as well. This is the Killed by Cain. Very raw, heavy. They kind of describe it as Guns N' Roses meets Metallica, and that kind of is the vibe or the heaviness you're going to get. If you know Bride at all, you're going to hear a lot of Bride in this. It's kind of has that vibe, and that's partially because it was produced by Dale Thompson. This is part of a new series they're doing called From the Vaults. This is series number 1. If you look right there, you can see From the Vault series, right there. From the Vault series number 1. I don't know who number 2 is yet. As soon as I know, I'll let you guys know. I think it's going to be 6 Feet. 6 Feet Deep's first album, but I'm not 100% sure of that yet. So as soon as I know for sure, I'll let you know. This is on 180 gram vinyl, and it is in a half sleeve on the back, as you can see, kind of like Roxx's Underground series, except unlike that series, this one actually does have a spine, so you can read it from the side. Great album, pressed on vinyl and CD. Oh, here's the Fear Not CD as well. This came with an 8-page booklet. Here's the Haven Age of Darkness CD that recently came out. This has got a 8 or 12-page booklet as well. And here is the Killed by Cain CD. This one comes with a 6-page fold-out insert. Roxx Records released the Ransom second album, Soul Asylum, which features Oz Fox and Lanny Cordola as guests. Lanny Cordola did the production on this thing. This is definitely that, you know, late 80s, early 90s style of LA. I don't want to call it glam metal, but kind of, you know, that kind of just, it's heavy. It rocks hard, but it also has a lot of hooks. great guitar work, some shredding, just a real heavy bottom end bass and rhythm section. So really good album. Ransom, Soul Sound. They're all numbered. I don't know if you can see on the bottom down there. The CD itself isn't numbered. There's actually a card sitting in the front of here that's numbered. Mine is number 2 of 300. So there are 300 of those available. That one is available on the Roxx website and Boone's Overstock. And then I helped put together, these are 12-page insert CDs for the entire Barnabas catalog. This is their first album from 1980, I believe it was. Let's see if it's on the back here. Hold on, let me switch over the record so you can hear some more Deliverance. Okay, sorry about that. Back. This is the Hear the Light album. Both covers, because this album has been released in different covers. There's the other cover right there. Liner notes, lyrics, photos of the band. These things came out really nice. So that's the first album. Second album, Find Your Heart at Home. This was the second album cover. The first album cover can be seen behind the CD right there. It was black and white. It was pretty boring. So I wanted to include it somewhere. So we did include it here. We just had too many great pictures of the band and other things to include. Not to put this on the 8-page booklet, 12-page booklet, excuse me. But yeah, as you can see, there's some great photos in here. There's one of them right there. I'll just pull this one out because this one does have some awesome photos. There's the center spread. But you can see the lyrics and the write-ups. There's a little history of Barnabas in here. There's a write-up by Jeffrey McCormick from Heaven's Metal Magazine. A little bit of everything in this one. Lyrics, of course. So that was their second album. Still kind of, sound kind of was hard rock, early 80s hard rock, heavy metal, kind of pushing a little more towards metal, but still in the hard rock vein, and just a little bit of funk, a little bit of blues all mixed in with there as well. With this next album, their third album, they really started getting more into a metal sound. This is Approaching Lightspeed, and if you listen closely enough, you're going to hear a big Rush influence here. I know I did. Matter of fact, I was talking to the drummer's Klingensmith, jeez, and I asked him if Rush was one of the influences, and he said, of course our influences are going to come out, and any drummer who's playing along with the bass player from this band is going to have to, be able to play, those Neil Peart kind of styles. So, so there is Chris Klingensmith right there, and there is bass player Gary Mann right there. Again, 12-page booklet, bio information, photos of the band. This reissue came out fantastic. The band was just stoked with it. They were so happy with how it came out. This album also featured, for the first time, Total Shredder and Brian Ballou. Brian, who would stay with the band for the rest of their career together. This is one of my favorite albums by them. And I think it's one of the ones that have been selling best so far at Boone'sOverstock.com. So, fourth album, Feel the Fire. And now this was just full-on, early 80s heavy metal. Again, very, it's still got some of that 70s vibe, but it's definitely in the heavy metal camp. And if you look at the picture, I think it was 1983 when this one came out, you can see that the band has that look, that early 80s heavy metal look. I mean, the same year, Motley Crue was coming out and had this look. So these guys were, I'm not going to say they were ahead of their time, but they were definitely current. They weren't, following a trend. They were helping to create the trend at the time. So, Feel the Fire, which contains the song Sweet for the Souls of Our Enemies, Part 1. Part 2 is going to show up on another album. Little Foxes. Again, this is their last album. Features the same lineup as the last two albums. This one is straightforward heavy metal. I mean, it's just, there's no prog rock or anything like that, which you're going to hear a little bit on the last album. But this one is just pure, straightforward heavy metal, hard rock. Probably my favorite of all their albums. It's kind of hard to say that because I really do like all three of the last ones the best. But yeah, it's the one I listen to the most, so let's just say that. Again, another 12-page booklet with photos of the band. This is Chris Klingensmith right there. Brian Ballou, guitar player. There is Gary Mann, bass player. And of course, vocalist Nancy Jo Mann. So there you go, Little Foxes from Barnabas. This one was 1985, I believe. So that's another one that I worked on this year on CD that's out. And then finally, the last one I'm going to show for this update is an announcement for next year. We're already working on it. We've already got a signed contract, so we're going to be releasing Mind Slave by Banshee. This album rules. And I'm not just saying that because I'm releasing it on my label. I'm saying that I'm releasing it on my vinyl because it rules. I'm sure if you guys have watched any of my videos over the last year or two, you've seen me show this one more than one time, or I've seen me playing it in the background more than one time. I just think it's that great of an album. To me, this is the best Banshee album. Their first 3 albums were good, but I like them a lot, matter of fact. But this album just annihilates. It's so heavy. It's not thrash or death. It kind of has the same vibe. I remember hearing Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules for the first time, and that heaviness that you got from those albums, that's the kind of heaviness you're going to get here. That's kind of sound you're going to get here. It's heavy riffs, heavy guitar tones, heavy soloing, pounding rhythms, screaming vocals, but it's melody, it's melodic, and it has those hooks that hold you in there. So this one's going to be released on NoLifeTilMetal Records on CD and vinyl coming up in 2018. Probably only 300 vinyl, black only, I believe, and 300 CDs, so they'll go quick. As soon as I know when those go on sale or pre-sale, I'll let you know. I'm hoping we can get some little pre-sale extra thing like we usually do for Roxx and Retroactive as well. Perhaps something signed by guitarist Terry Dem, we'll see. And that leads me to my very last point. I've had some people email me and PM me on Facebook and tell me they're upset because they ordered such and such a record from Retroactive or from Roxx, and they didn't get the free poster, or they didn't get the free this. Those free objects or items that they offer, autographed 8x10s and posters and those sort of things, they offer them free for pre-orders only. If you order the album before it comes out, because you're doing that, they give you that little extra thing, the autographed item or the poster or whatever it might be. They've done different things. So to get those free things, you have to get it on the pre-order. And they usually have a good month to 6 weeks for those pre-orders. So if you really want those things, you got to pre-order them. That's just all there is to it. That's what people told me they don't like pre-ordering. Well, Roxx and Retroactive or NoLifeTilMetal aren't going to rip you off. They are going to put out what they're saying they're putting out because they don't even put things on pre-order until they know the exact delivery date from the factory. So anyhow, just a little explanation at the end there. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you all supporting the labels, supporting my the labels that I work for, and watching this video. So that's it. God bless. Stay strong.